the Pod Network Entertainment.
Ladies and gentlemen, our special musical guests, two icons, Sam Smith and Madonna.
Wow.
Look like I'm dressed to kill. Love how I make me feel. All black in stripper heels. Move like Madonna. Rich like I'm in the Louvre. Got nothing left to prove. You should see my hips. You know you're beautiful when
I
they
don't need
call
to.
you vulgar. I do what I wanna. I go when I gotta. I'm sexy. I'm free. And I feel vulgar. Dum, dum, dum.
Like a
Vulgar. Dum,
goat.
dum. That's really how it goes. You're supposed to go.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Where does Sam Smith figure in all of this? And I'm still trying to figure out like why this is connected to the show that we're actually talking about.
It figures in the show, in one of the scenes. But then it's my excuse to do a Madonna song. So yeah.
Okay. Oh wait,
They
is it one
share
of the
it.
songs that they actually use?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah,
there
yeah.
in the
They-
club
they-
scene.
They do a lot of like older songs. Yeah.
Yes,
Even for the
yes.
ending. Okay.
But I
All right.
must say, even with a musical guest,
Uh-huh.
hindi niya pa automatically, well, plus of all the songs, ito yung feeling ko parang medyo it
Niche.
describes the show that we're going to be doing because it's so vulgar.
Well,
Vulgar
yes.
is not even cover
Yeah.
what this show brings to the table.
Where's Sam Smith?
No, ano yun? They at first it's Sam and then it's Madonna and then it's Sam. And
Oh,
then
that's
it's
a new
Madonna.
song.
Yes, it is. Well, hindi na
Ah.
actually. Medyo old na siya. Vulgar, yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of this song before.
Well, it is a Madonna song, so it
Oh,
kind of
But ladies and gentlemen, with that, we'd like to welcome you to Only Fun. His name is Chico Garcia.
And his name is Gino Killiamore, and I'm the biggest Madonna fan, ha? So ako lang
I
ang
know,
may karapatan mang-bash kay Madonna.
Oh, nga, eh.
Lovingly
Lovingly,
from the heart.
like you can talk shit about her, no?
Yes,
Like,
because
no.
I have invested so much energy,
Emotion,
money,
passion.
emotions, to my
Kumbaga,
mama. So,
kumbaga shareholder ka na ni Madonna.
ay nako,
you know?
mother, di ba? Mother is
Okay.
mothering.
Given that the show that we're about to discuss is very vulgar, diba? Does that give us the right to be as open with the things that we can talk about, the words that we can use?
For this show, why not? Let's make it a
Okay.
very
Well,
vulgar.
Hello.
You know what?
That's
Oh, sige.
the least of
sige,
your
fine,
worries when
fine,
it comes to
fine.
watching this show.
So you know what? Let's be vulgar. F this,
Wow.
I'm F
Wow.
this shiz. I mean, I'm going all
Sige,
out
I'll be
vulgar
the
right
translator. Do it.
now. F this shiz.
Fuck this shit. That's literally what you were trying to say. What is it? Fluff
I
this
know.
sandbag? What?
My gosh. Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
It's liberating.
okay.
You should give it a try.
It's difficult because you know what? In as much as it is cathartic,
Despite everything that you've seen in this episode, you find it difficult to say a
No,
word that
no, no, no,
literally
no.
just means sex and crap.
I don't mind hearing it. Don't get me
Ah,
wrong. I
alright.
just feel weird saying it. Like
No.
I feel like I'm committing a
I'll
sin.
walk you through it. So it's like fuff. Copy me.
Fuff, fuff, fuff,
Fuff.
fuff, fuff.
Fuck.
F.
It's like that episode of Friends. Je m'appelle. Je m'appelle. Oui, boo boo.
Wee boo boo. Yeah, can we have like
Yeah.
a side thing before
Sure.
we jump into FYI, our episode is about Gen V, but
Right.
let's just have a little side thing, okay? Side discussion.
Okay.
Have you been, and speaking of gens,
Uh-huh.
have you been seeing this Gen X? Gen Z thing about Friends? How it's
What about
not
Friends?
really funny. Oh my
Oh yeah,
gosh.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a
I feel
thing where like all the Gen Zs are saying, kasi feeling ko ang
it's
huling
offensive.
naka-appreciate.
It's
No, not
whatever.
just that. That it's not funny. They're not even talking about the whole offensive. This kind of humor would never stand up during the woke times.
Really?
No, it's not that. It's like they're just saying, is it just me or like what am I missing here? It's just nothing about the show is funny, and it's
So
like a barrage of hate for Friends. Like
that's so weird.
it's so weird. Like because
And
there's a whole generation of siguro the younger Gen X's and the older millennials
uh-huh.
who just love the show. Pero
Yeah.
there's a lot of younger millennials and Gen Zs who are so not into it. Like, I'm not having it. It's not funny. It's so corny. Ganon. Like, I've been seeing so many threads and I'm shocked.
Which
Shocked.
makes me question the for me the bigger question here is what do they find funny? Because
Well,
okay, let's face it. Okay, if we're talking about something like I don't know, maybe Russell Brand or
mm,
something a
mm,
little bit edgier in terms of
mm.
comedy, then I would kind of understand that it's not everyone's cup of tea. But
Okay.
Friends in general is very the humor isn't exactly offensive. You know, I mean, of course they have a few kumbaga para meron silang mga hirit na okay that might not fly in today's day and
In
age.
today's day and age. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
But
get that.
generally, the theme of Friends, the way that they joke around with each other, it's either self-deprecating or they joke about each other. And of course, they're
I
friends, so they
know,
have the right to do
and
that. So
honestly,
what?
being a
Yeah,
Friends fan, a long time Friends fan, like it's one of the most hilarious things I've ever
yeah.
watched. So I'm like, is it a generation thing? Like, is like the younger set
And
just
hindi rin naman siya.
not getting the general humor of Friends?
It's also not. I mean, of course, there are pop culture references
Yeah,
that
yeah.
only work for that time. But even just general, like kunwari, parang that scene of Ross with the couch, the whole pivot thing. That's not a it's not anchored on the time. It's
Yeah.
not offensive to
I mean, that's what
anyone.
I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. Like, or
Or the Jumapel. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, yung
that exact
pagka
scene.
Bobs ni ano nga ni Joey, or
Right.
the whole bromance between Joey and Chandler, the
Right.
weirdness of Phoebe. Parang apparently so many of the younger set of the Gen Zs specifically just don't find it funny. Like a lot of them tried watching it and alam mo
So
yun, lahat
what's
sila parang
funny to Gen
yun
Z
nga eh,
people?
I don't get it though. And I'm just weirded out by the fact that like they're like we don't get why it's such a big thing for a certain generation.
I
Why
don't get
everyone
it.
says that Friends is like the funniest thing on this planet. And here's the thing, here's the
Okay,
thing.
I can argue that it's not the funniest thing on this planet, but it is funny. Yeah,
No,
kumbaga
pero
parang,
gets, I mean, the
oh,
way, let's say, yun nga, a certain generation would probably hype it up and say like,
yeah,
"Oh, Friends is so funny. It's one of my favorite shows growing up." But then,
right.
yun nga, like people who watch it now are like, "I don't get it. It's not funny at all. Like at all." Ganon. Yung, tapos here's the
Yun yung
thing,
wild eh. Kasi if you
may
say at
mga ano
all,
pa na
then,
na parang who would praise mga kasabayan niya. Like for example, I saw a couple of comments na
uh-huh.
Seinfeld. Now that's funny. And people would be like, yeah, that's funny. I don't get it.
I'll get it. I mean, of
Yeah,
course, Seinfeld was also funny,
I know.
but
Pero
parang how different was it from the
exactly.
humor that
Like
Friends has? Or
I
is
can,
it just pakul because
yeah, ako yun ang
parang
duda ko.
I feel like
Yun
oh
ang duda
everybody
ko.
thinks it's so funny, so I have like this prejudice against it already
Yes.
because I want to have a different opinion. I want to have
It's,
oh wait here
sige, sige,
from
sige.
our
For,
producer.
yeah, sige.
Uh, I just want to chime in on this because I was in this situation a lot of times. It's because the jokes, some of them don't get it, and even though they don't argue about the offensive jokes, but nandun pa rin yung cringe. A friend of mine really rubs it in. Am I the 1% that doesn't like Friends? Yun nga, I really think it's like you remember how everybody was so into Game of Thrones and
Yeah,
everybody was
yeah.
making a big deal about the whole oh I don't watch Game of Thrones, and then like a year later, 2 years later, they ended up watching it and liking it. Dude, okay, to everybody out there, I'm sorry to have to say this, but there's a reason things are popular. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not to say that it has to be the thing that you love the most, because I mean, obviously, there are people who love kunwari, art films over commercial films. There are people who love art films, but that doesn't mean that commercial films aren't enjoyable. Just enjoy it for what it is. There's nothing wrong with liking the stuff that other people like. You don't have to be so different from everybody. God.
Hindi, baka nga kasi baka nga kasi it's the whole pick me culture, 'di ba? Na you wanna be a pick me girl, a pick me boy, na I'm not like the other girls, I'm different. I like different things. I don't like
Oh.
oh my God, that eye roll.
Oh.
I hope can we just have that on loop? Like every time we want to what
Okay.
an eye
Here, sige,
roll.
fine.
Sige,
I'll
sige.
I'll admit that maybe when we were, I think the reason why we're also able to say things like this is because we're much older. Alam mo
Mm,
yun, parang I'm sure that when we were younger, we had moments when we were like pakul also, and we also
mm.
wanted to be like, oh, choose different, choose me because I'm different. You know what I mean? And then as you get older, you kind of realize that again, yun nga, there's a reason why it's the norm. There's a reason why it's pop culture. There's a reason why a lot of people like it. It's because generally it's likable. That's it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean?
Kasi ano eh.
It's like people who say I don't like Taylor Swift, but the minute that you hear love story, oh kakanta ka naman. Alam mo yun, para like just
Yeah.
fucking sing along to it. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with it.
No, pero here's the thing, kasi like, yun nga, I just find it so weird. Because I guess I'm very protective of Friends because it's one
Yeah.
of the growing up before Game of Thrones,
Right.
Survivor and Friends were the only two shows on
Shows. Yeah.
TV na pre-streaming that my entire family would watch together. Like
Right.
my brother's family, my two sisters' families would all converge sa house ng sister ko, and then we would all watch it together. And we're talking like from the oldest tito, tita to the youngest pamangkins. We would all watch it together, and regardless of age,
Yeah.
parang enjoy it so much. Literally from the kids na like maliliit na bata talaga to like us, yung mga
Yeah.
the titos and titas. And we would watch it as a family. And I remember everybody found it funny regardless of age. So that kind of like perplexed me na, no, at the time, everybody found it funny. So nagugulat lang talaga ako kasi it's not just one. I've read quite a few number of threads na
Yeah.
parang anti-Friends, and I'm just like, where is this coming from?
Kasi yun
Where
nga eh.
is this hate coming from?
If you dislike some portions of it because of the references, maybe because of some jokes that are no longer considered funny and are now offensive, then okay, I get that. But to dismiss the entire thing, na parang I would say like, okay, let's just say that 100% of Friends, that's a show, right? Let's just say that, I don't know, maybe 20% of it is offensive. There's still that 80% that everybody else can technically enjoy, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it. Like, it doesn't have to be the funniest thing for you, but I don't think you can discount the fact that it is a funny show. You
And
know what
say
I
that
mean? Like,
it's so corny and there's nothing funny about it, right?
so
It's kind of weird. It's
are
kind of
you
weird.
basically telling me that because at one point these guys were the highest paid actors on TV. Like they were getting $1 million before anybody else
Per
was getting a
episode,
million
yes.
dollars per episode. It
Mhm.
ran for what, 10 seasons?
Yes.
So you're telling me that everybody who supported and loved this show, they're all wrong? It's a little weird. I mean, yun nga eh, parang you can say that it's not my cup of tea, but to say that there's nothing funny about it, that's just weird.
It's weird.
That's just weird.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's a little, I feel like, kumbaga para, okay, we talk about movies also and TV shows here that not a lot of people like or not a lot of people love. Like, kunwari, parang, for example, Morbius.
Mm.
Morbius got a really bad rap on generally, right? And while, yes, it does, it should have been done better. There are so many things I would have changed about it. Hey, alam mo yun, parang there's still a part of it that I enjoyed. I can't say
Yeah.
that it's a 100% shit film. Like I have never seen a 100% shit film or a 100% shit TV show because there's always something decent about it. Alam mo yun, parang
I can think of one though.
what's one? Can you give me one 100% like shit
For me,
film? Yeah.
Speed 2. I really
Oh, I
hated
never
that.
even watched it.
I
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
hated that. Yung nasa cruise ship na sila.
Oh. As in
Ridiculous.
100% talaga wala.
For me, like, kasi imagine mo kailan pa yun? I still remember it
Early
until now
90s or
that it
something,
was
yeah.
such a horrible, horrible movie.
I will argue with our producer Ivan, Green Lantern. I will say that yes, it was a bad adaptation, of course, and even Ryan Reynolds will joke about it. But I gotta say, with what he had, Ryan Reynolds still made it funny. Alam mo yung
Ako,
parang
I did enjoy some parts of Green
certain
Lantern.
parts
I
of
did
Green
rin.
Lantern.
I did too.
Oh,
I did too.
yun nga eh.
Uh,
So there's
hmm.
always there's still something that whether hold on, Speed 2, was it still Sandra Bullock? It
You know
was,
what?
right?
See, I think it was still Sandra Bullock. No Keanu Reeves though. Pero yun nga, cruise ship naman, runaway cruise ship. And
Yeah,
it was
was
so
there a part of
ridiculous.
it where you were like, I don't know, like, oh hey, it's Sandra Bullock. You know, she still gives me happiness and joy. Wala talaga.
Nope.
No, nothing.
Like,
Okay.
yung ending niya, yung ship plowed into this resort. It was so ridiculous. It was so bad. But you know what? Okay, since we're
Uh,
talking about this now, it's a good segue into our actual show,
yeah.
naging 50% friends, you know. Pero I really think it's also becoming like a Gen thing, you know,
Uh,
like Gen
or bad.
X versus
Baka alam mo
Millennial
yung
versus
parang,
Gen
yeah,
Z.
maybe it's just the Gen Z thing na, oh, I don't want to like the same things as the older generations. Because
Yeah.
let's face it, we did the same thing. Like, you know, when I was younger, my parents kept on watching MASH. And
Mm.
again, MASH was also a friends-like show. Na parang it was running
Mm-mm.
for such a long time at Alan Alda. And I didn't like it when I was younger just because like, oh, it looks so old. That's it.
Mm.
But
Mhm.
when I eventually gave it a shot, like there were moments that it made me laugh. Alam mo yun, there were
Mhm.
moments that it made me, and something like Frasier. If you made me watch between Frasier and Friends when I was like in my teens or my early 20s, of course I would pick Friends. But now that I'm a little bit older, I'm like, you know what? I'll take an episode of Frasier because
Mhm.
it's quote unquote smarter humor. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So may
Mhm.
may ganun din eh na parang I don't know, just don't discount everything just because it's the popular opinion. Alam mo yun?
But that said, I also think that okay, so we're talking about Gen V. This is
Yeah.
basically a spin-off of The Boys. So same
Right.
universe, but think kung baga merong Justice League, ito yung parang Teen
Teen
Titans. You know, sila
Titans
yung
or
the younger
uh
version. Oo.
one description of a friend of mine was so spot on for me. It's like the boys, but it's on CW. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
it's the teen version of the boys, but
Oh my gosh.
not to take away how ridiculously like I don't know violent and um what was that word that I was looking for? The Madonna song that you mentioned
Vulgar.
earlier. Vulgar also it is. It has that same exact boys flavor, just in the spirit of a teen show. That's
You
it.
know what? I think that's why I actually enjoyed this more.
More than the
Maybe because
boys.
it's closer to my age, you know, it's my age group. So
All right. I guess we're on to the point of the show where we're lying about things.
hindi kasi, you know, I
I
tried,
have a 14-inch dick.
you know what? I tried The Boys. Pero
Uh,
parang after a
I'm
while,
sure
I'm
you
like,
have.
Naku, you know, if I were to complete the statement, sasabihin ko pa naman sana, you know what? I tried The Boys, but it ended up parang not to my liking. Woo! And then, okay, no, just going back to The Boys. Hindi ko siya natapos. Like, I mean, I enjoyed
What?
it. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It's just that
It
ever
was too
since
much.
kasi, no naman. I liked it. You know how like because nga we're doing this podcast, we
Yeah.
tend to start a lot of shows.
Yeah.
So very more often than not, if we get to start it, even if I like it, okay, if I
Mhm.
don't like it, obviously hindi ko na pagpapatuloy. But it also happens a lot. Sometimes I do like it, and
Yeah.
maybe if we weren't watching too many shows, maybe I would have continued. This is
Right.
one of those. Kunyari, I had so much time and there was
Right.
no, no
Kumbaga other
schedule
things
na.
took priority lang over the boys.
It's
Ganun.
just that because we watch so much, ang nangyayari when I really like something, ito, like very recently, yung A Time Called You, oh, I couldn't stop watching.
Yeah.
And the same thing with this one. Like, alam mo, because apparently, I was so sad to find out there are only 3 episodes. Akala ko nakalabas na lahat ng episodes. I was so sad. I was like,
Mm.
crap, I thought kompleto na because I was so into it. I
Yeah.
couldn't get enough of it. And I'm like, what is it? Like, why didn't
Yeah.
I feel this way about The Boys? I mean, I
Okay.
love Gen Z. I mean, Gen V.
No.
Super, super love it. Yeah.
Ako naman, as much as I enjoyed Gen V, I really did. I still prefer The Boys. Like, or also maybe because at this point, kasi parang okay, Gen V, without any spoilers, you know how stereotypical teens are na parang dami
Mm.
nilang angst issues, dami nilang parang, oh, I'm cooler than you or whatever. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just over that for now. Like, I'm not saying that, like, it's something that I won't come back to. But for now, parang, I'd rather see adult problems more than teen problems because it's
Mm.
something that I can relate to more.
Mm.
Like,
Mm.
ito parang it's like, oh, I want to be accepted by my dad or whatever, you know. Like, it's just, it's that
Just
sort of
say-
place.
Can I just say?
Uh,
I think you've already set a personal record for eye rolls in one episode. Like, nakakailang in one sentence, minsan nakakadalawang eye roll ka. Like, I have never seen you roll your eyes as much as this episode.
I don't know.
I can't. I cannot.
But okay. It's still very enjoyable. Don't get me wrong. I still love it. But I still prefer The Boys. Although
Alam mo,
The
I
Boys
should
has an
continue,
advantage.
I
Oh.
should continue that again. Kasi lang, nabitawan ko siya eh. Now I'm curious. Kasi I really enjoyed this.
What
And I'm
what
like,
season did you end? I mean, what do you still remember what season you stopped at there?
I don't think I finished season 1.
Oh wow. Oh
Yeah.
oh man. Okay.
Siguro, you know what? After, kasi when, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but when we
Yeah.
did our episode on The Boys, I watched multiple episodes na. So maybe 2 or
Okay.
3 or 4. I don't remember. But definitely more than 1. Tapos after that, maybe 1 more or 2 more. Tapos parang, and then I stopped. And then di ko na
Okay.
siya na-continue. Tapos alam mo yun, alam mo yung ang dami ko nang nakitang clips of other seasons, di ba? Yung the tiny guy who sneezed inside the you-know-what. And blah, yeah. So I would see
Someone's
that on
dick.
on Twitter.
Yeah.
You know, I would see snippets na. Pero parang I never got the compulsion to
You have
continue.
to. Okay.
I
think-
parang now
well,
I really want to. Now I really
at,
want.
at this point din kasi, yun nga, The Boys has an advantage because it's 3 seasons in already. So obviously I'm way more invested in the characters. Although what I noticed differently is with The Boys during the first episode of the first season, like I already liked some of the characters. Alam mo yun, parang I was already attached to some of them, even on the first episode pa lang. But also they have the advantage of one was Carl Urban, one was Jack Quaid, one was Nate Archibald, aka Chase Crawford. So alam mo yung parang kilala ko na sila, and you had Elizabeth Shue pa. So alam mo yung it already had like a really strong cast with actors that I was already familiar with. Whereas with Gen V, plus ito pa pala yung advantage ng The Boys. Before The Boys, there were no TV shows like this. Alam mo yun, you had nothing that even came close to what The Boys had to offer, which was, what if superheroes had power? I mean, obviously, what if superheroes were real and they were as flawed as normal human beings? That they were as susceptible to corruption, susceptible to abuse of power as a normal human being, which is so realistic because honestly, if we had superpowers, if I had invisibility, I would be the biggest pervert out there. You know what I mean?
I mean, you already are, but even bigger.
But I can't get away with it, you know?
Hindi, pero you know what I like? You know what I super like?
Oh.
And I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying as much attention with The Boys. But dito parang gets ko siya. Yung, I love how usually when you have a show about superheroes, it's a different world.
Right.
Ito weird kasi it's a different world, but they talk about like kunyari Kim and Kanye and like literally our current events, our celebrities that's in the real world. pero sinoplant nila yung cultural references, tas nilagay nila dun sa world na yun. So it's kind of
Yeah.
weird. Like,
Yeah.
we don't live in a world where people have superpowers, but they're talking about the same
The same
events,
people that
the same
that we
people, the
know.
same. It's weird. Parang minerge nila yung real world with an imaginary world. And I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's pretty unique.
Pero can I
Diba?
just
Kasi,
say,
kasi hindi
yeah,
nila, like kunyari, Riverdale.
yeah,
They're not talking about our celebrities. And, diba, may
yeah, they have
sarili
their
silang
own.
mundo. Oo. So, I just find that so cool.
So okay, so far you have a bunch of characters for the first episode. You have Golden Boy, who was played by
Patrick
Arnold
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger's son, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But I didn't even know that until after the end of the episode. I was like, oh, that's Patrick, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger's son, pala. Like literally everybody else. I don't think I've seen them in anything else.
Same. I
Uh,
love Marie Moreau.
yeah, Marie's pretty
I
awesome. Marie
love the
Moreau.
actress.
Marie Moreau has the power to basically control blood. Pero may mga questions ako about that. So this is not a spoiler because
Okay,
basically
okay,
what
okay.
Marie Moreau does is whenever basically she can manipulate blood. And the way she uses it as a weapon is she'll cut her hand, let her blood flow out, and then she'll use that as like a spear, a throwing knife, a dagger, whatever, a sword. There's just one scene where she gets her period for the first time. That's when she finds out that she has her powers and everything. My question is, nauubusan ba siya ng dugo? Kasi diba, I mean, like, you know how she throws it around quite
Yeah.
often, and like she doesn't pass out or anything. So that part, it hasn't been. I'm on episode. I finished episode 3 already. They
Me
haven't
too,
really
same.
tackled. They haven't really tackled.
I
whether
guess
or not-
it's like a regular human being, di ba? We replenish naman our blood. So it
Yeah,
is
but
finite. Like
Mhm.
hindi mo pwedeng, like another character, di ba? Yung the one who's like Karma. Karma is the New Mutants, one of the
siya ba
saviors.
naging si Penance?
Yung parang yung parang she can tell you what to do, yung Jedi mind trick kanya.
Uh-huh.
Yung if she touches you with her bare hands,
Okay. Oh,
di
so
ba
this
ganun
is
din
like
siya?
si girl
Parang
with the gloves.
nauubusan din siya, like she gets weak.
Uh-huh.
So finite then. So I'm guessing Marie is like that. If she does
Okay.
it too much, she can lose too much blood and maybe pass out the way,
Yeah.
di ba, when we bloodlet, di ba, minsan nahihilo ka. So
Yeah.
I guess ganun. Pero given enough time, like if she gets a good night's sleep, a big meal,
Uh-huh.
pwedeng
Ma-replenish,
ma-replenish. Oo, just like
okay.
blood regularly
Because
gets
I've so
replenished.
many questions about their powers. Like for example, one of the characters, Justin ba?
Mm.
That's right. Well, he's the binary.
Jordan.
Jordan pala, Jordan.
Jordan.
Basically switches between a male version and a female body. Parang ganun.
Mhm.
And I don't know if I got it correctly, pero is it like when Justin is the male version, he has different
Jordan.
powers. When Jordan is the male version, he has powers, and then when
Yes.
he becomes a female, iba rin yung powers.
Yes.
Parang no. Oh,
Yes.
okay.
So parang if I got it right, when he is male, parang super strength or invulnerability. Kaya pag
Telekinesis
susuntukin
pag-
siya, bigla siyang magiging lalaki kasi nga he can take the blows. Pero pag naman nagbabae siya, parang super speed, parang mas
Yeah.
mabilis siya and mas
Either
may
super
attack.
speed or parang meron siyang
Something.
telekinesis.
So
or
parang
something.
siya, parang male defense, female offense. Parang
I really like that part because I
Me
don't
too.
think
I like that character.
I don't think I've ever encountered a superhero that has that ability na parang when you switch bodies, your power becomes different. Diba?
Yeah.
Ang galing na, and that he can basically switch in and out of that. I think the biggest, or at least the most recognizable face here na is one of the professors, Dr. What's his face? The one who trained Jordan, the one who trained
si Blinker, Blinker, Bunker, Blunker, Blinker.
Yeah, something like that.
Him. Oh.
Yeah. Diba? Like, I mean, you've seen him before, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty interested to see where this is going. Actually, also not a spoiler, but there's a character in the third episode. Well, he's mentioned already in the first, second, and then eventually comes out on the third episode, who I think I'm most invested in. Like, while konti pa lang yun na discuss about, I'll give you a small snippet. Him, I think his power will be the most interesting one. The brother.
Yeah, of course.
Parang feeling ko siya yung... Kasi so far, parang while I think their powers are cool, I'm not invested in anyone yet. Like, I'm not like really rooting for Marie. I'm not really rooting
Ako,
for
Marie.
the
I
son
like
of
Marie.
Polaris. Okay lang, dami niya ring issues eh.
Oo. Mas ayoko yung anak ni Polaris. Mas gusto ko si
Yeah. Pero anak ni Polaris kasi, he's more of like, I don't know, I don't want to be like my dad. But like,
yeah.
diba, medyo ganun
Hindi ko siya
siya eh.
gusto.
But I really like, yun nga, that new character. Because I feel like he's the most chaotic one out of all of them.
Mas feel ko pa nga si Golden Shower. Si Golden Boy kasi parang...
Wow. Are you sure we watched the same show? I mean,
si Golden Boy.
I mean. All right.
Mas invested pa ako kay Golden Boy kasi nga parang yung akala mo jerk, akala mo a-hole.
Nice,
pero parang yung pala merong story behind it. Yun, gusto ko yung mga ganon na and actually even Marie, that's why I like her kasi nga she's flawed. She's not a goody-goody two-shoes. And gusto ko yung mga parang like, look, I'm looking out for myself. I have my own goals. So don't come to me and say, like, you owe me this. No, I don't owe you shiz, like, you pulled me into this. I didn't ask for this. I like the attitude. So
there's also one
like
because so Emma there is she tiny girl. What's her
si Chipmunk and then Squirrel.
Chinchilla, squirrel, something like that. Yeah. Basically,
cricket.
Yes, there's squirrel, chinchilla. There's one scene there where basically somebody betrays Cricket and I got so pissed off. Alam mo yun, kasi parang it's so high school. Yung parang, ba't di ka na naging honest? Ba't di ka na naging totoong tao? Ba't ka pa naging kupal? Alam mo yung gano'n? I don't know.
You're in a mood today.
I am.
You're in a mood today. With the eye rolls and the vulgar language.
But it's definitely something you should watch.
Yeah,
and I
love it. I really recommend it.
I love that this is happening not at the same time as The Boys. So alam mo, you have The Boys.
Yeah.
And then you have this. So meron ka nung feel of, and then hopefully Invincible season 3 comes out also. Season 3 na ba? Kasi it's also the same flavor but it's animated. So hopefully this runs like, kumbaga parang you'll always have something to look forward to. Na parang if it's the end of the season of The Boys, you have Gen V. If it's the end of the season of Gen V, there's Invincible. And then it's back to The Boys again. So hopefully that happens. But do check it out. It's Gen V. It's on Prime Video. It's already on its 3rd episode. I'm not sure if they're coming out with the 4th episode sometime this week by the time that this podcast is released, but I'm hoping it does. So we'll have something to watch.
There you go. So check it out. Thank you for, checking out the show. And you know what? Thanking our partners, the Pod Network Entertainment. Plus, what's up?
Plus, you can check us out on social media. It's at OnlyFunPH, at Chico Garcia for him, at Gino.Killiamore for me. That's
what I wanted to say.
Written on our screen.
That's what I wanted to say. I mean, you beat me to it. But thank you.
Sure.
See you.
See you guys next time. Bye-bye.
The opinions of podcast creators, hosts, and guests are not necessarily reflective of the official stance of the Pod Network Entertainment, its hosts, or other network programs. The content created by the people behind the podcast is personal and not meant to harm any religion, ethnicity, group, organization, company, or individual.